The text message arrived at 7:43 p.m., just as I was scraping the last of my microwaved lasagna into the garbage disposal. At Lisa's for book club. Don't wait up. Erin. I stared at my phone, then typed back, having dinner with someone important tonight, too. Before we dive deeper into this story, I have one small request. Please subscribe, drop a like, comment, and hit that hype button to boost this channel so more people can discover these incredible Reddit stories. The lie tasted bitter, but not as bitter as the truth. I hadn't had dinner with anyone important since my cholesterol medication started in 2018. Hell, I hadn't had dinner with anyone at all in months, unless you counted Jerry from the insurance office, and our conversations usually revolved around claim adjustments and his wife's bunion surgery. My name is Nick Halperin, and I'm 42 years old. I adjust insurance claims for a living, which means I spend my days telling people why their lives aren't worth what they thought they were. It's a job that teaches you to read between the lines, to spot the inconsistencies in people's stories, to know when someone's lying to you. My wife Erin had been lying to me for months. I walked through our craftsman-style house, noting the details that had become foreign to me. The open-plan kitchen where we used to cook together on Sundays, the dining room table where we'd eaten maybe 5 meals together in the past 3 months, the living room where she'd sit with her laptop, typing away at what she claimed were work emails for her HR position at TechFlow Solutions. The house felt like a museum of our marriage, everything preserved exactly as it had been when we were happy, but now just artifacts of something dead. I poured myself a glass of wine from the bottle Erin had opened 2 nights ago and abandoned after 1 sip. She'd been doing that a lot lately, starting things and not finishing them, conversations, dinners, our marriage. My phone buzzed, a text from Lisa Franklin, Erin's supposed best friend. Can you talk? It's important. Lisa was a pediatric nurse at Mercy General, one of those people who radiated competence and calm. She'd been Erin's friend since college, the kind of friend who knew where all the bodies were buried. If Lisa wanted to talk, it meant something had shifted in the carefully constructed lie that had become my life. I called her back. Nick? Her voice sounded strained. Are you alone? Yeah, Erin's at your place for book club, remember? The silence stretched so long I thought the call had dropped. Nick, I'm at home. I've been at home all evening. Erin's not here. The wine turned to acid in my stomach. What do you mean she's not there? I mean she's been using me as an alibi for weeks, maybe months. She told you she was coming here tonight? I sank into the kitchen chair, staring at the text message still glowing on my phone screen. Book club. We don't have book club on Wednesdays. We never have. Nick, I think you need to know what's been going on. 20 minutes later, Lisa was sitting across from me at my dining room table. I'd lit the candles Erin had bought for our anniversary dinner, the dinner that had been postponed 3 times before she finally canceled it entirely. The wine bottle sat between us, mostly empty now. Lisa looked exhausted. Her usually perfect nurse's composure was cracked, revealing something raw underneath. How long have you known? I asked. About Marcus Vale? 6 weeks, but I've suspected something for months. Marcus Vale. The name hit me like a physical blow. I knew Marcus. He was a real estate developer who'd been trying to buy up half the downtown area. 44 years old, divorced, drove a BMW, and wore suits that cost more than my monthly salary. He was everything I wasn't, smooth, wealthy, and completely without conscience. How did you find out? Lisa pulled out her phone and scrolled through her messages. She's been asking me to cover for her. Tell Nick I'm with you if he asks. Can you say we went shopping? At first, I thought maybe she was planning a surprise for you, but then I saw them together. She showed me a photo she'd taken from across the street. Erin and Marcus outside his luxury apartment complex, his hand on her lower back, her head thrown back in laughter. The kind of laughter I hadn't heard from her in over a year. Why didn't you tell me sooner? Because I hoped it would end. Because I thought maybe you already knew and were handling it your own way. Because I was a coward. She met my eyes. But mostly because she threatened me. Threatened you how? She knows about my brother Danny's DUI last year, the one that didn't go on his record because I knew someone in the prosecutor's office. She said if I caused problems for her, she'd make sure it all came out. Danny would lose his job, his kids. I felt something cold and sharp crystallize in my chest. Not just betrayal, that was old news by now. This was calculation. Erin hadn't just cheated on me, she'd turned our mutual friends into accomplices and hostages. There's more, Lisa said. She pulled out a small digital recorder. I've been documenting everything she's asked me to do, every lie she's wanted me to tell. I thought maybe someday I'd need proof that I wasn't willing participant. She pressed play. Erin's voice filled the room, bright and casual. Just tell him we went to that new wine bar downtown. Make up some story about how crowded it was, how we couldn't get a table. You know how he hates crowds. He won't want details. Another message. If he asks about the book club, we're reading that Gillian Flynn book, the one about marriage. He'll think it's ironic and won't ask follow-up questions. The cruelty of it was breathtaking. She knew me well enough to manipulate not just my trust, but my personality quirks, my introversion, my tendency to avoid social situations. She'd weaponized 15 years of marriage. I'm done being her accomplice, Lisa said. Whatever you want to do about this, I'll help. I was about to answer when we heard Erin's car in the driveway. She's early, I said. Lisa grabbed my hand. Are you ready for this? The front door opened and Erin's voice called out, Nick! Whose car is in the driveway? She appeared in the dining room doorway, still beautiful at 39, her dark hair perfectly styled despite her supposed evening with friends. She wore the black dress I'd bought her for Christmas, the one she'd claimed was too fancy for every day. Her eyes took in the scene, the candles, the wine, Lisa sitting across from me with her phone and recorder on the table. What's going on here? Her voice was carefully controlled, but I could see the panic flickering behind her eyes. Sit down, Erin, I said. We need to talk. About what? Lisa, what are you doing here? Lisa didn't flinch. I'm done lying for you. Erin's composure cracked. Lisa, you don't understand. I understand that you've been using me to cheat on your husband. I understand that you threatened my family to keep me quiet. I understand that you've been playing us both for fools. Erin looked between us, calculating. I could almost see her mind working, trying to find the angle that would let her regain control. Nick, whatever she's told you, it's not what you think. Really? So you weren't with Marcus Vale tonight? The name hit her like a slap. She actually stepped backward. How do you... She stopped herself, but it was too late. How do I know about Marcus? Because Lisa's been keeping track of your lies. Because she's been documenting every time you've asked her to cover for you. Because she took pictures. I stood up, feeling steadier than I had in months. The question isn't how I know. The question is what happens next. Erin's mask finally slipped completely. You self-righteous bastard. You think you're so perfect. You think you're so easy to be married to. When was the last time you took me anywhere nice? When was the last time you made me feel like I was worth something? When was the last time you gave me the chance? Marcus appreciates me. He makes me feel alive again. Marcus is married. He's getting divorced. Lisa laughed bitterly. No, he's not. I checked. His wife Julia just bought a new house. They're renovating together. You're not the love of his life, Erin. You're his midlife crisis. The words hit Erin like physical blows. She sank into a chair, her perfect facade crumbling. This is insane. You're both insane. I'm not going to sit here and be attacked in my own home. Actually, I said, this is our home. And you're going to sit here until we figure out how this ends. I had spent weeks feeling powerless. watching my marriage disintegrate while pretending everything was normal. But sitting here with Lisa's evidence spread across the table, seeing Erin's lies exposed in the candlelight, I felt something I hadn't experienced in months: control. Here's what's going to happen, I continued. You're going to tell me the truth. All of it. How long it's been going on, what you've told him about me, what your plans were. And then we're going to decide whether this marriage can be saved or whether we're done. Erin looked at Lisa desperately. You're really going to side with him over me? After everything we've been through? After everything you've put me through, Lisa corrected. I've been your friend for 20 years, and you turned me into an accessory to your affair. You threatened my family. You made me lie to a man I respect. So yes, I'm siding with him. The room fell silent, except for the sound of the candles flickering. Outside, Mrs. Dorsey's dog was barking at something in the night. Normal sounds of a normal evening in a normal neighborhood, while my life rearranged itself around this table. Erin finally spoke, her voice smaller than I'd heard it in years. It started 4 months ago, at the TechFlow holiday party. He was there as a potential investor. And he paid attention to me. He listened when I talked. He made me feel like I was interesting again. So you decided to have an affair. I decided to feel good about myself for once. Her voice gained strength, defiance creeping back in. Do you know what it's like being married to someone who looks at you like you're another insurance claim to be processed? Someone who comes home every day and barely acknowledges you exist? The accusation stung because it contained enough truth to hurt. I had been distant. I had been taking her for granted. But I'd been doing it honestly, while she'd been lying to my face. So instead of talking to me about it, you decided to sneak around with Marcus Vale. I tried talking to you. Remember our anniversary dinner? The one you postponed 3 times because of work? Remember when I suggested we take a weekend trip and you said we couldn't afford it? Remember when I asked if you still found me attractive and you said, of course, without even looking up from your laptop? Each example was a small knife, precise and sharp. I did remember those moments, and I remembered being exactly as dismissive as she described. That doesn't justify this. Maybe not. But it explains it. Lisa cleared her throat. Erin, he deserves to know everything. What did you tell Marcus about your marriage? Erin's eyes flashed with anger. What business is that of yours? It became my business when you made me part of your cover story. I leaned forward. What did you tell him, Erin? She was quiet for a long moment. Then, I told him you were controlling, that you monitored my phone and my emails, that you'd become paranoid and possessive. The irony was staggering. She'd been lying to me for months, but she'd painted me as the suspicious husband to justify her affair. What else? I told him you'd been emotionally abusive, that you made me feel worthless. Jesus, Erin. I told him I was afraid of you. The room went completely silent. I felt like I'd been punched in the stomach. You told your lover that I was abusive? That you were afraid of me? I had to give him a reason why I couldn't just leave. Why couldn't you just leave? She didn't answer, but I could see the truth in her eyes, because she didn't want to leave. She wanted to have both lives, the security of our marriage and the excitement of her affair. She wanted to eat her cake and have it too. Lisa was staring at Erin with disgust. Do you have any idea how dangerous that was? What if he'd believed you and decided to protect you? What if he'd confronted Nick? He's not violent. How do you know? You've been lying to him about your husband being abusive. What do you think he might do if he thought you were in danger? I could see Erin hadn't considered this possibility. In her mind, the lies she told Marcus existed in a separate universe from her real life. She hadn't thought about what would happen if those universes collided. Where did you think this was going? I asked. What was your endgame? I don't know. I wasn't thinking about the future. I was just trying to feel alive again. At my expense. At Lisa's expense. At your job's expense. Because I'm assuming your HR director having an affair with a potential investor is a conflict of interest. Her face went pale. You wouldn't. I wouldn't what? Tell the truth? Isn't that what you've been asking for? Honesty? My phone buzzed with a text message. I glanced at it and felt my blood freeze. Unknown number, I said. It says, your wife is cheating on you. Thought you should know. Erin grabbed for my phone, but I pulled it away. Who else knows about this, Erin? I don't know. Nobody. Just Lisa and now you. And Marcus. And whoever Marcus has told. And whoever saw you together at restaurants, hotels, his apartment building. I was getting angry now. Really angry for the first time. Did you think this was invisible? Did you think no one would notice? Another text came through. Check the parking lot at Riverside Apartments on Thursday nights. Then another. Ask her about the weekend conference that got canceled. What weekend conference? I asked. Erin was crying now, mascara running down her cheeks. The HR conference in Albany, it got moved to next month. But you went away that weekend anyway. Yes. With Marcus. Yes. Lisa was shaking her head. Erin, how could you be so stupid? You used company resources for this. You filed expense reports for a conference you didn't attend. That's fraud. It's not fraud. I paid for the hotel myself. But you took paid time off for a business trip that didn't happen. You lied on official documents. I could see the full scope of Erin's deception now. It wasn't just personal betrayal, it was professional suicide. She'd risked her career, her reputation, our financial security, all for 4 months with a man who was using her as a side piece. How many people at TechFlow know about you and Marcus? Nobody. Bullshit. Someone's texting me anonymous tips. Someone's been watching you. My phone buzzed again. She's there now. Blue Honda parking spot 47. I showed the message to Lisa and Erin. Erin's face went white. That's impossible. I'm here. Is that your car outside? Yes, but... I walked to the window and looked out at our driveway. Erin's blue Honda was parked behind Lisa's car, exactly where it should be. Someone's messing with us, I said. But even as I said it, I felt a chill. Someone was watching us. Someone knew enough about Erin's affair to send me real-time updates. Someone wanted me to know what was happening. Lisa was looking at her phone. I just got a text too. Same unknown number. It says, ask her about the key. What key? I asked Erin. I don't know what they're talking about. Erin, what key? He gave me a key to his apartment, in case of emergencies. The pieces were falling into place. Who else has a key to Marcus's apartment? I don't know. Maybe the building manager. Maybe his ex-wife. His ex-wife who's actually his current wife. Lisa corrected. My phone rang. Unknown number. I answered it. Mr. Halperin? A woman's voice, cultured, controlled. Yes? My name is Julia Vale. I think we need to talk. I looked at Erin, whose face had gone completely white. About what, Mrs. Vale? About my husband's affair with your wife. About the lies they've been telling each other. About the lies your wife has been telling you. I'm listening. Not over the phone. Can you meet me tomorrow? There are things you need to see. Things you need to know before you decide what to do next. I looked around the room. At Lisa with her evidence. At Erin with her tears. At the candles burning down to nothing. Yes, I said. I think we need to talk. After I hung up, Erin was staring at me with something approaching terror. What did she say? She wants to meet tomorrow. She has information. What kind of information? I guess we'll find out. Lisa started packing up her recorder and phone. I should go. This is between you two now. No, I said. You're part of this. She made you part of this. You should see how it ends. Erin was quiet for a long time, then. What happens now? I blew out the candles, leaving us in the harsh overhead light. The romantic atmosphere I'd created for our confrontation was gone, replaced by the cold reality of our kitchen. Now we find out the truth, all of it, and then we decide what's left of our marriage. I walked her to the door, feeling older than I had that morning. Everything I'd thought I knew about my life had been revealed as fiction. But for the first time in months, I wasn't living in someone else's story. I was about to write my own. The next morning, I met Julia Vale at a coffee shop downtown. She was nothing like I'd expected. Mid-40s, elegant without being showy, with the kind of quiet confidence that comes from genuine success rather than the performance of it. "Thank you for meeting me," she said as I sat down across from her. "Thank you for the heads up. How long have you known?" "About the affair? 2 months. About the extent of it? As of yesterday." She opened a manila folder and spread photos across the table. Erin and Marcus at restaurants I couldn't afford. Erin and Marcus entering and leaving his apartment building. Erin and Marcus at what looked like a hotel in Albany. "You had them followed?" "I had my husband followed. Your wife was just collateral damage." She pulled out another set of documents. "These are copies of credit card statements. Hotel rooms, dinners, jewelry, $4,300 in the last 4 months. He spent $4,300 on her? No. She spent $4,300 on him." I stared at the papers. Charges to restaurants, hotels, even a men's clothing store. "I don't understand. Your wife has been paying for their affair, the hotel rooms, the dinners, even clothes for him. She's been using your joint credit cards to fund her own betrayal." The coffee turned bitter in my mouth. Not only had Erin been cheating on me, she'd been spending our money to do it. Money we didn't have. Money we'd been saving for the roof repair, for the new furnace, for the vacation we'd been planning for 3 years. "There's more," Julia said. She pulled out printed emails. "She's been telling him that you're financially controlling, that you monitor all the accounts, and she has to hide purchases from you." I read the emails, my hands shaking with anger. Erin describing me as a miser who begrudged her every dollar, who made her account for every purchase, who used money as a weapon to control her. None of it was true. We had joint accounts. She had her own credit cards. I'd never questioned her spending because I'd trusted her. "Why are you showing me this?" "Because I want Marcus to face consequences for what he's done. And because your wife has been telling him things about you that could be dangerous." She showed me another email, Erin describing me as increasingly unstable and paranoid. Erin claiming I'd been making threats and that she was afraid of what I might do. "She's setting up a narrative," Julia said. "If this all comes out, she wants to be the victim, the abused wife who had an affair to escape her controlling husband." "But none of that is true." "I know. I've been watching your house. I've seen how you live. I've seen no evidence of the man she's describing in these emails." "You've been watching our house?" "I've been watching everywhere they go. I know this isn't your fault, Mr. Halperin. But I also know that if we don't handle this carefully, you're going to be painted as the villain in their story." I felt trapped in a nightmare. Not only was my wife cheating on me, she was constructing an elaborate fiction that cast me as an abuser. If this became public, if she filed for divorce and claimed domestic abuse, my reputation would be destroyed. "What do you want from me?" "I want the truth to come out. I want them both to face real consequences, and I want to make sure you don't get destroyed in the process." She pulled out one more document. "This is a petition for divorce that my lawyer prepared. I'm filing it on Monday. It includes all the evidence of Marcus's affair, all the financial records, everything." "What does that mean for Erin?" "It means her affair becomes part of the public record. It means her employer will find out. It means everyone will know what really happened." I thought about Erin, about the woman I'd married 15 years ago, about the dreams we'd shared, the life we'd built together, about how completely she'd destroyed all of it. "There's one more thing," Julia said. I think you should know that they've been planning to leave town together. What? She showed me more emails. Marcus and Erin discussing a job opportunity in Florida. Plans to relocate together. Discussions about how to handle their current spouses. When? Next month. After Marcus closes a big real estate deal. They were going to disappear together and leave us both holding the bag. I felt something cold and sharp settle in my chest. This wasn't just an affair, this was a planned abandonment. Erin had been preparing to vanish from my life, taking our savings, leaving me with debt and a destroyed reputation. I need to think about this. Of course. But Mr. Halperin, don't wait too long. They're moving fast, and if they get ahead of this story, you'll be fighting their version of the truth instead of the real truth. I drove home in a daze, Julia's evidence sitting on the passenger seat like a bomb waiting to explode. Everything I'd thought I knew about my marriage, about my wife, about my life, had been revealed as carefully constructed lies. When I got home, Erin was in the kitchen making coffee, dressed for work, as if nothing had happened. "How did you sleep?" she asked, not looking at me. "Fine. How about you?" "Fine." We were back to performing normalcy, pretending the previous night's confrontation hadn't happened. But I could see the tension in her shoulders, the careful way she moved around the kitchen to avoid getting too close to me. "I met with Julia Vale this morning." Erin dropped her coffee mug. It shattered on the kitchen floor, sending ceramic shards and hot coffee everywhere. "Shit," she said, kneeling to clean up the mess. "Leave it. We need to talk." "I'm going to be late for work." "No, you're not. You're going to call in sick and we're going to finish what we started last night." She looked up at me from the floor, surrounded by broken ceramic and spilled coffee, and I saw something I'd never seen before. Fear. Real fear. "What did she tell you?" "Everything. The credit card charges. The emails where you call me abusive. The plans to move to Florida." Erin stood up slowly, her face completely pale. "Nick, I can explain." "No more explanations. No more lies. I know about the money you've been spending on him. I know about the job in Florida. I know you've been planning to leave me. That's not... We weren't... It was just talk. $4,300 isn't talk. Job applications aren't talk. Apartment hunting isn't talk." I pulled out Julia's evidence and spread it across the kitchen table. "This is what your affair really looks like. Not some romantic escape from your terrible marriage. This is theft, fraud, and character assassination." Erin stared at the papers, her mouth opening and closing without sound. "You've been stealing from us to pay for your affair. You've been lying to Marcus about who I am. You've been lying to me about what you want. You've been lying to everyone about everything." I never meant for it to go this far. But it did go this far, and now there are consequences. My phone buzzed. A text from Lisa. "Are you okay? Do you need me to come over?" I showed the message to Erin. "Lisa's worried about me. She thinks you might be dangerous." "That's ridiculous." "Is it? You've been telling Marcus I'm abusive. You've been setting up a narrative where I'm the villain. What happens when that story gets out?" I needed him to understand why I couldn't leave right away. "So you made me into a monster." "I was trying to protect myself." "From what? From me finding out the truth? From facing consequences for your choices?" She was crying again, but this time it felt different. Less manipulation, more genuine desperation. "I was scared," she said. "I was scared of losing everything." "So you decided to take everything instead?" I sat down across from her, feeling exhausted. "Erin, I loved you. I would have worked with you if you'd been unhappy. I would have gone to counseling, changed jobs, moved cities, whatever you needed. But you didn't give me that chance. You just decided I wasn't worth the effort." "That's not true." "Then why didn't you talk to me? Really talk to me, not just drop hints and hope I'd figure it out. Why didn't you say, 'Nick, I'm miserable, we need to fix this or I'm leaving'?" "Because I didn't think you'd care. So instead you had an affair, stole our money, and tried to destroy my reputation. That was easier than having one honest conversation. She didn't answer, which was answer enough. My phone rang. Marcus Vale. I answered it on speaker. Nick, we need to talk. I'm listening. Not over the phone. Can you meet me? There are things Erin hasn't told you. Things you need to know. I looked at Erin, who was shaking her head frantically. Like what? Like the fact that she's been lying to both of us. Like the fact that she's been playing us against each other. Like the fact that none of this was what I thought it was. What do you mean? I mean, I thought I was rescuing her from an abusive marriage. I thought I was helping her escape from someone who was hurting her. I found out yesterday that none of that was true. Erin was mouthing no and making cutting gestures across her throat. How did you find out? My wife hired a private investigator. She showed me photos of your house, your neighborhood, your life. She showed me evidence that everything Erin told me about you was a lie. And now you want to what? Apologize? I want to make this right. I want to end this before anyone else gets hurt. I looked at Erin, who was now openly sobbing. Where do you want to meet? The Rusty Anchor. It's neutral ground. I'll be there in an hour. After I hung up, Erin grabbed my arm. Please don't go. Please. He's angry. He might do something. Like what? Beat me up? I thought you said he wasn't violent. He's not, but he's been drinking since yesterday. Since Julia showed him all the evidence. He's been calling me, texting me, saying horrible things. What kind of things? He says I ruined his marriage. He says I'm a liar and a manipulator. He says he's going to tell everyone what really happened. Isn't that what should happen? Shouldn't everyone know what really happened? You don't understand. If this gets out, I'll lose my job. I'll lose everything. You should have thought of that before you started the affair. I grabbed my keys and headed for the door. Nick, please, don't leave me alone. I'm scared. Of what? Of facing the truth? Of people finding out who you really are? Of losing you. I stopped at the door. You already lost me, Erin. You lost me the moment you decided Marcus Vale was worth more than 15 years of marriage. The Rusty Anchor was exactly the kind of dive bar you'd expect in a small upstate town. Dark wood, neon beer signs, and the lingering smell of cigarettes from before the smoking ban. Marcus was already there, sitting in a corner booth, looking nothing like the confident real estate developer I'd imagined. He looked like hell. Unshaven, rumpled clothes, bloodshot eyes, the kind of man who'd been drinking for 24 hours straight and making bad decisions. Nick, he said as I sat down across from him. Thank you for coming. What did you want to tell me? I wanted to apologize, and I wanted to warn you. About what? About Erin. About what she's really like. The waitress came over, and I ordered a beer. Marcus was already 3 drinks ahead of me. I thought I knew her, he continued. I thought she was this trapped, unhappy woman who needed rescuing. She painted this picture of you as this controlling, abusive husband who made her life miserable. So you decided to save her. I decided to help her. I thought I was doing the right thing. By having an affair with her. By giving her a way out. By showing her that she deserved better. I took a long drink of my beer. And now you know that was all bullshit. Now I know she's been playing both of us. She told you I was just a fling, right? Something that got out of hand? Something like that. She told me you were abusive and that she was planning to leave you anyway. She said the affair was just giving her the courage to do what she should have done years ago. But that wasn't true either. None of it was true. She's been lying to everyone about everything. She's been using both of us to get what she wants. Which is what? I don't know anymore. I thought she wanted to be with me. But then I found out about the money. The credit card charges. She's been paying for everything. Hotels, dinners, clothes for me. I thought she was just being generous. I didn't know she was stealing from your joint accounts. She wasn't stealing. It was her money too. Was it? Or was it money you'd both saved for other things? Money that was supposed to go to your house, your future, your life together. He was right. The money Erin had spent on their affair was money we designated for specific purposes. The roof fund, the vacation fund, the emergency fund. She'd raided all of it to pay for her betrayal. Why are you telling me this? Because I found out something else, something that scared me. He pulled out his phone and showed me a text message from Erin. Nick's getting suspicious. He might do something crazy. I'm scared. When did she send this? This morning. Right after you left to meet my wife. She's trying to set me up. That's what I think. She's creating a paper trail that makes you look dangerous. She's building a case for why she had to have an affair, why she had to lie, why she had to protect herself. I felt sick. If something happens to her, you'll be the prime suspect, the abusive husband who couldn't handle being cheated on. But I'm not abusive. I know that now. My wife knows that. But Erin's been telling a different story for months. She's been documenting every conversation, every argument, every moment of tension between you two. She's been building a case. A case for what? For divorce, for alimony, for painting herself as the victim and you as the villain. I thought about all the times in recent months when Erin had tried to pick fights with me. All the times she'd seemed to be recording our conversations on her phone. All the times she'd made dramatic statements about feeling unsafe or unheard. She hadn't been having emotional breakdowns. She'd been gathering evidence. There's more, Marcus said. She's been telling people at work that you've been threatening her, that you've been going through her things, monitoring her communications, following her. None of that's true. I know, but she's been building a narrative. And if this all comes out, her story is going to be that she had an affair because she was trapped in an abusive marriage. What do you think I should do? I think you should protect yourself. Document everything. Save every text message, every email, every conversation, because this is about to get ugly, and she's going to try to destroy you to save herself. We sat in silence for a while, two men who'd been played by the same woman, trying to figure out how to survive what came next. I'm filing for divorce, I said finally. Good. So am I. Your wife is filing for divorce too? Yeah, she's done with my bullshit and I don't blame her. I threw away 20 years of marriage for a woman who was lying to me from day one. What are you going to do about the job in Florida? He looked surprised. How do you know about that? Julia told me. She showed me the emails. There is no job in Florida. There never was. Erin made that up. What do you mean? She told me about this great opportunity, this chance for us to start over somewhere new. She said she'd already applied and that they were interested in hiring her. But when I looked into it, the company doesn't exist. The job posting was fake. I stared at him. Why would she make that up? I think she was trying to get me to leave Julia. She wanted me to burn my bridges here so I'd have no choice but to be with her. But if there was no job, then we would have moved to Florida with no income, no plan, and no future. We would have been completely dependent on each other, with no way out. The scope of Erin's deception was staggering. She hadn't just been having an affair. She'd been orchestrating an elaborate con game designed to trap both of us in her web of lies. I need to go home, I said. I need to confront her with all of this. Be careful. She's desperate now, and desperate people do dangerous things. What kind of dangerous things? The kind where you end up looking like the bad guy no matter what really happened. I drove home with Marcus's warnings echoing in my head. Erin's car was in the driveway, but the house was dark. I found her in the bedroom packing a suitcase. Going somewhere? She looked up, startled. I thought I should stay at Lisa's for a few days, give us both some space to think. Lisa's not going to let you stay with her. She's done being your accomplice. Then I'll get a hotel room. With what money? You've already spent our savings on your affair. She zipped up the suitcase and faced me. I can't stay here, Nick. Not with you looking at me like that. Like what? Like you hate me. I don't hate you. I hate what you've done. I hate the lies, the manipulation, the way you've tried to make me into the villain in your story. I never tried to make you into anything. Really? So you didn't tell Marcus I was abusive? You didn't tell your coworkers I was threatening you? You didn't document our arguments to use as evidence later? Her face went pale. How do you know about that? Because Marcus told me. Because he figured out you've been lying to both of us. Because he realized you were playing us against each other. That's not true. Then explain the fake job in Florida. Explain why you made up a story about a company that doesn't exist. She sat down on the bed, the suitcase forgotten. I don't know what you're talking about. Erin, I know about everything. The credit card charges, the fake job posting, the emails where you call me unstable. I know you've been building a case to destroy my reputation. I was protecting myself. From what? From the consequences of your own choices? From you, from what you might do when you found out. What did you think I was going to do? Hit you? Kill you? Is that really what you think of me? I don't know. I don't know you anymore. You've been so cold, so distant, you barely talk to me, barely touch me. How was I supposed to know how you'd react? You were supposed to know because you've been married to me for 15 years. You were supposed to know because I've never given you any reason to be afraid of me. People change. People snap. I've seen it happen. So, instead of talking to me, instead of giving me a chance to prove I'm not the monster you decided I was, you had an affair and tried to frame me as an abuser. I wasn't trying to frame you. I was trying to protect myself by destroying me. She was crying again, but I felt nothing. No sympathy, no desire to comfort her, no urge to make things better. She'd killed whatever love I'd had for her with her lies and manipulation. What happens now? She asked. Now you leave. Tonight, and tomorrow I file for divorce. Nick, please, we can work this out. We can go to counseling, we can... There's nothing to work out. You made your choice months ago. You chose Marcus over me. Lies over truth. Manipulation over honesty. You don't get to unmake that choice just because it didn't work out the way you planned. I made mistakes. I know that. But I love you. I've always loved you. No, you don't. You love the security I represent. You love having a backup plan in case your affair didn't work out. But you don't love me. If you loved me, you wouldn't have done any of this. She picked up her suitcase and walked toward the door, then turned back. What about the house? What about our things? We'll figure that out through lawyers. What about our friends? What about Lisa? Lisa's already chosen sides. She chose truth over loyalty to you. What about my job? What about it? If this gets out, if people know about the affair, I'll be fired. You should have thought of that before you started sleeping with a potential investor. Please don't let Julia file that divorce petition. Please ask her to keep this quiet. Why would I do that? Because you loved me once. Because we had 15 good years before everything went wrong. We had 15 years where I thought I knew who you were. Turns out I was wrong. After she left, I sat in our empty house surrounded by the artifacts of our marriage. Wedding photos on the mantle, vacation souvenirs on the bookshelf, Christmas ornaments we'd collected together over the years. All of it felt like evidence from someone else's life. My phone buzzed, a text from Lisa. How are you holding up? I called her. She's gone, I said. She packed a bag and left. Are you okay? I don't know. I don't know how to feel about any of this. You feel however you need to feel. There's no right way to handle being betrayed like this. Lisa, can I ask you something? Of course. How long have you known what she was really like? There was a long pause. Longer than I should have. She's always been manipulative, but I thought it was just her way of getting what she needed. I didn't realize how far she was willing to go until she started using me as an alibi. Why did you finally decide to tell me? Because she threatened my family. Because she crossed a line from selfish to evil. And because you deserve to know the truth. What do you think happens next? I think she's going to try to control the narrative. She's going to tell everyone her version of the story, and her version is going to make you look like the bad guy. Marcus warned me about that too. Marcus is right. She's been planning this for months. She's been building a case for why she had to have an affair, why she had to lie, why she had to protect herself from you. But none of it's true. That doesn't matter. She's got documentation. She's got witnesses who've heard her version of events. She's got a story that makes her the victim. So what do? You tell your own story. You document everything. You make sure the truth comes out. How? You let Julia file her divorce petition. You let all the evidence become part of the public record. You don't try to protect Erin from the consequences of her choices. That feels cruel. She wasn't worried about being cruel to you. She was willing to destroy your reputation to protect herself. Why should you protect hers? Lisa was right. Erin had been willing to sacrifice my reputation, my emotional well-being, and my future to cover up her affair. She'd painted me as an abuser to justify her betrayal. She'd stolen our money to fund her deception. I owed her nothing. The next morning, I called Julia Vale. File the petition, I said. Let it all come out. Are you sure? Once this becomes public record, there's no taking it back. I'm sure. She made her choices. Now she can live with the consequences. What about your divorce? I'm filing today. I'm not asking for alimony or trying to take her apart financially. I just want out. That's very generous of you. It's not generous. It's self-preservation. The longer this drags out, the more time she has to build her case against me. Smart. What about the house? She can have it. I don't want to live there anymore anyway. What about your mutual friends? The ones who matter already know the truth. The ones who don't matter will believe whatever they want to believe. And Erin? What about her? Are you prepared for what she might do when she realizes you're not going to protect her? What do you mean? I mean, she's been counting on your love for her to keep you from exposing her completely. When she realizes that's not going to happen, she might escalate. Escalate how? I don't know. But desperate people do desperate things. Julia was right to be concerned. That afternoon, I got a call from Jerry at the insurance office. Nick, you need to know something. Erin called here looking for you. She sounded really upset. What did she want? She said you'd threatened her. She said she was afraid you might hurt her and she needed to know where you were. What did you tell her? I told her you were out on a claim adjustment and I didn't know when you'd be back. But Nick, she was really selling it. She sounded genuinely scared. She's building a paper trail. She's trying to make it look like I'm dangerous. Why would she do that? Because she's about to be exposed for having an affair, and she needs a reason why it's not her fault. Jesus. What are you going to do? I'm going to document everything, every call, every text, every conversation. I'm going to make sure there's a record of what really happened. Do you want me to write down what she said when she called? Yes. Write down exactly what she said, what time she called, how she sounded, everything. Nick, be careful. If she's really trying to set you up, you need to make sure you're never alone with her. I know. I'm staying at a hotel until this is over. That evening, I was in my hotel room when my phone started buzzing with text messages, all from Erin. Please call me. We need to talk. I'm sorry about everything. I want to make this right. I'm scared, Nick. I don't know what to do. Please don't let Julia ruin my life. Please. I love you. I've always loved you. I made a mistake. I'm at Lisa's. Can you come over? I need to see you. I called Lisa. Is Erin there? No. She tried to come here earlier, but I wouldn't let her in. She's been calling and texting me all day, begging me to help her. She's telling people she's at your house. She's lying. I haven't seen her since the night we confronted her. Where do you think she is? I don't know. But Nick, you need to be careful. She called my work today and told them I was having an affair with you. She tried to get me fired. What? She told my supervisor that I was helping you spy on her, that we were having an inappropriate relationship, that I was feeding you information to help you control her. Did they believe her? No, but only because my supervisor knows me well enough to know it's bullshit. But she's trying to destroy anyone who won't help her. I'm sorry she dragged you into this. Don't apologize. This isn't your fault. But you need to understand that she's not going to go quietly. She's going to try to take everyone down with her. Lisa was right. Over the next few days, Erin launched a campaign to destroy anyone who wouldn't support her version of events. She called my work and told them I was having a breakdown. She contacted our mutual friends and told them I was stalking her. She even called my elderly parents and told them she was afraid I was going to hurt myself. But she made a crucial mistake. She got greedy. On Thursday morning, I got a call from TechFlow's HR director. Mr. Halperin, this is Patricia Williams from TechFlow Solutions. I need to speak with you about some allegations your wife has made. What kind of allegations? She's filed a complaint claiming that you've been harassing her at work, calling her repeatedly, and making threats. She's requesting a restraining order. That's completely false. I haven't contacted her at work at all. I haven't even spoken to her since Monday night. Can you prove that? I can show you my phone records. I can show you that I've been staying at a hotel. I can provide witnesses who can account for my whereabouts. Would you be willing to come in and discuss this? We're conducting a full investigation. Of course. When I arrived at TechFlow, I was surprised to find Julia Vale waiting in the conference room along with Patricia Williams and a man I didn't recognize. Mr. Halperin, Patricia said, this is Detective Morrison from the police department. We asked him to be here because the allegations your wife has made are quite serious. What exactly has she alleged? Detective Morrison opened a file. She claims you've been calling her workplace repeatedly, leaving threatening messages. She claims you've been following her, showing up at her apartment, and making statements about what you might do if she doesn't come home. None of that is true. She also claims that you've been turning her friends against her, spreading lies about her personal life, and trying to get her fired. The only thing I've done is tell people the truth about her affair. Patricia leaned forward. What affair? I looked at Julia, who nodded. Erin has been having an affair with Marcus Vale for the past 4 months. She's been using company time and resources to conduct this relationship. She's been lying to her supervisor about her whereabouts and activities. Patricia's face went pale. Do you have evidence of this? Julia opened her briefcase and pulled out the same evidence she'd shown me days earlier. Photos, credit card statements, emails, hotel receipts. This is why I'm here, Julia said. My husband has been having an affair with your employee. She's been using her position at your company to facilitate this relationship. Detective Morrison studied the evidence. Mrs. Vale, how did you obtain this information? I hired a private investigator to follow my husband. Your employee was collateral damage. Patricia was looking through the photos and documents. These show Erin at hotels and restaurants during work hours. These credit card charges are for expenses she claimed were business-related. She's been defrauding the company, I said. She's been lying on expense reports and timesheets. Mr. Halperin, Detective Morrison said, your wife claims you've been calling her work phone repeatedly. Our phone records show no calls from your number to this office. Because I haven't called her. She claims you've been following her. Do you have an alibi for your whereabouts over the past week? I pulled out my hotel receipts, my work schedule, and my phone's location data. I've been staying at the Marriott downtown. I've been going to work every day. I haven't been anywhere near Erin. Patricia was shaking her head. I can't believe this. Erin is one of our most trusted employees. She's been with us for 5 years. She's also been lying to you for months, Julia said. She's been using your company as cover for an extramarital affair. Detective Morrison closed his file. Mr. Halperin, based on the evidence presented here, it appears that your wife's allegations are false. In fact, it looks like she may have filed a false police report. What does that mean? It means she could be charged with filing a false report, which is a misdemeanor. It also means that if she continues to make false allegations, she could be charged with harassment. Patricia stood up. I need to speak with Erin immediately. This is a very serious matter. She's not coming in today, I said. She called in sick. Then I'll need to reach her at home. She doesn't live at home anymore. She moved out Monday night. Patricia looked confused. Where is she staying? I don't know. She told people she was staying with friends, but the friends say they haven't seen her. Detective Morrison frowned. That's concerning. If she's making false allegations and can't be located, that suggests she might be planning something. Like what? Like escalating her claims, like trying to force a confrontation that she can use as evidence to support her story. Julia gathered her papers. Detective, what would you recommend Mr. Halperin do to protect himself? Document everything. Don't have any contact with his wife unless it's through lawyers, and if she contacts him or shows up anywhere he is, call us immediately. As we left the Tech Flow building, Julia walked with me to my car. How are you holding up? I feel like I'm living in someone else's nightmare. It's almost over. Once Patricia completes her investigation, Erin will be fired. Once the divorce petitions are filed, everything will be part of the public record. She won't be able to control the narrative anymore. What do you think she'll do next? I think she'll try one last desperate play. She'll try to force a confrontation that makes you look like the aggressor. How? I don't know. But be ready for anything. Julia was right. That evening, as I was having dinner at a restaurant near my hotel, Erin appeared. She looked terrible. Her hair was unwashed, her clothes were wrinkled, and she had the hollow-eyed look of someone who hadn't slept in days. Nick, she said, sliding into the booth across from me. Thank God I found you. How did you find me? I've been looking everywhere. I need to talk to you. We have nothing to talk about. All communication goes through lawyers now. Please, just 5 minutes. I need to explain. Several other diners were looking at us. Erin was speaking loudly enough for them to hear, and she was playing up the drama. I know you're angry, she said. I know I hurt you, but I love you, Nick. I've always loved you. Keep your voice down. I can't keep quiet anymore. I need you to know the truth. She was performing now, creating a scene that would make me look like the cold, heartless husband and her like the desperate, loving wife. Erin, stop. You're making a scene. I don't care. I need you to forgive me. I need you to come home. I stood up to leave, but she grabbed my arm. Don't walk away from me. Please. I'm begging you. The entire restaurant was staring at us now. I could see people pulling out their phones, probably recording the whole thing. Let go of me. Not until you listen to me. I gently but firmly removed her hand from my arm. This conversation is over. As I walked toward the exit, she called after me. Don't do this, Nick. Don't abandon me. I need you. I kept walking, but I could hear her behind me, sobbing loudly and dramatically. In the parking lot, I called Detective Morrison. She just ambushed me at a restaurant. She created a public scene, grabbed me, made it look like I was abandoning her. Did anyone record it? Probably. There were a lot of phones out. That's actually good for you. If people recorded it, they'll have evidence that you didn't engage with her, that you tried to leave peacefully, and that she was the one creating the disturbance. What should I do now? Go back to your hotel. Don't go anywhere alone for the next few days. And if she contacts you again, don't respond. Just document it and call us. Back at the hotel, I sat in my room trying to process what had just happened. Erin had orchestrated that entire scene, knowing that people would record it, hoping that it would support her narrative of being the abandoned wife. But she'd miscalculated. Instead of making me look cruel, she'd made herself look unstable. My phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. Saw what happened at the restaurant. That woman is crazy, you handled it well. Then another. I recorded the whole thing, she was totally out of line. And another. Is that your wife? Dude, you need to get away from her. Strangers were reaching out to support me. Erin's performance had backfired. The next morning, Patricia Williams called. Mr. Halperin, I've completed my investigation. Erin has been terminated for cause. She violated company policy regarding personal relationships, falsified expense reports, and made false allegations against multiple people. What happens now? We're considering whether to press charges for fraud. The falsified expense reports constitute theft from the company. And the false police report? Detective Morrison is handling that. She could face charges there as well. Where is she now? We don't know. She didn't respond to our attempts to contact her for a termination meeting. We had to terminate her in absentia and mail her final paperwork. After I hung up, I realized that Erin had disappeared. She wasn't at work, she wasn't staying with friends, and she wasn't responding to official communications. That scared me more than anything else she'd done. My phone rang. Marcus Vale. Nick, we have a problem. What kind of problem? Erin showed up at my apartment last night. She was completely hysterical. She said you'd threatened to kill her and that she needed my protection. That's not true. I know it's not true. But she was so convincing that I almost called the police. What stopped you? Julia was there. She reminded me that Erin has been lying about everything from day one. What did you do? We told her to leave, but she wouldn't go. She sat in the parking lot for hours, crying and calling both of us. Did you call the police? Eventually. They came and talked to her, but she told them she was just upset about her divorce and needed time to process. They couldn't arrest her for sitting in a parking lot. Where is she now? I don't know. But Nick, she's not stable. She's desperate and she's running out of options. I think she might do something drastic. Like what? I don't know. But you need to be careful. That afternoon, I was at my office when Jerry came over to my desk. Nick, there's a woman here to see you. Says she's your wife's friend. I looked up to see a woman I didn't recognize standing by the reception desk. She was well-dressed, professional-looking, maybe 45 years old. I'll be right there. As I walked over, she extended her hand. Mr. Halperin, I'm Dr. Sandra Chen. I'm a psychiatrist. Erin asked me to speak with you. I'm not interested in couples counseling. This isn't about counseling. This is about Erin's mental state. I'm concerned about her welfare. Are you her doctor? I've been seeing her for the past week. She came to me in crisis, saying she was afraid her husband might hurt her. Dr. Chen, I need you to know that Erin has been lying about me. She's been telling people I'm abusive, but it's not true. I understand there's been some marital conflict, but right now, I'm concerned about her immediate safety. Her safety from what? She believes you're planning to harm her. She's convinced that you're going to kill her and make it look like suicide. I stared at her. That's insane. Is it? She showed me threatening text messages. She played me voicemails where you sound very angry. I haven't sent her any text messages or left any voicemails. Dr. Chen pulled out her phone. She recorded this conversation with you yesterday. She played an audio file. It was my voice, clearly angry. You destroyed everything, Erin. You ruined our life. I could kill you for what you've done. I never said that. This is your voice. It's my voice. But I never said those words. She's edited together pieces of different conversations. Dr. Chen looked skeptical. Why would she do that? Because she's trying to build a case that I'm dangerous. She's been doing it for weeks. Mr. Halperin, I have to ask you directly. Do you have any intention of harming your wife? No. I want nothing to do with her. I want her out of my life completely. She's very frightened. She's convinced that you're going to kill her. Then she should stay away from me. She should stop showing up at my work, my hotel, restaurants where I'm eating. She should stop creating confrontations. She says you're the one following her. Dr. Chen, I can prove where I've been every day for the past week. I have hotel records, work schedules, witnesses. I'm not following her. She's following me. Dr. Chen seemed to consider this. Would you be willing to sign a statement saying you have no intention of harming Erin? I'll do better than that. I'll take a polygraph test. I'll submit to psychological evaluation. I'll do whatever it takes to prove that I'm not dangerous. That won't be necessary, but I would like you to know that if anything happens to Erin, this conversation will be part of the record. Nothing is going to happen to Erin unless she does something to herself, and if she does, it won't be because of me. After Dr. Chen left, I called Detective Morrison. She's escalating, I said. She's got a psychiatrist convinced I'm planning to kill her. What kind of evidence did she show the psychiatrist? Fake text messages and edited audio recordings. Can you prove they're fake? I think so. The audio file she played contained things I said during different conversations over the past few months. She's edited them together to make it sound like I threatened her. We'll need to examine her phone and computer. But first, we need to find her. What do you mean? I mean, she's not at any of the addresses she's given us. She's not staying with friends or family. She's essentially disappeared. Where could she be? That's what we need to find out. Because if she's planning something, we need to stop her before she does it. That evening, I was having dinner at the hotel restaurant when my phone rang. Unknown number. Nick? Erin's voice, but different, calmer, more controlled. Erin, you need to stop calling me. I need to see you, one last time. No. I have something that belongs to you, something important. I don't want anything from you. It's about your father. My father had died 2 years earlier. Erin knew that mentioning him would get my attention. What about my father? I have his watch, the one your mother gave you. I took it when I moved out. That was a lie. My father's watch was in my hotel room, but she was trying to manipulate me into meeting with her. I don't believe you. Meet me at the house, tonight. I'll give you the watch, and we can say goodbye properly. No. Nick, please. I know I've made mistakes, but we had 15 good years. Don't let it end like this. You ended it when you started the affair. 1 hour. Just give me 1 hour to explain everything. There's nothing to explain. There's everything to explain. About why I did it. About what I was feeling. About what I want now. I don't care what you want now. You will when you hear what I have to say. She hung up. I immediately called Detective Morrison. She wants to meet at the house. She's trying to lure me there. Don't go. Whatever she's planning, she needs you to be there for it to work. What if she hurts herself and blames me? That's why you're not going. If something happens to her and you're not there, you can't be blamed for it. Should I call someone to check on her? We'll send a patrol car by the house. But Nick, do not go there. Do not contact her. Do not respond to any more calls or texts. I spent the night in my hotel room, watching the news and waiting for something terrible to happen. But nothing did. No calls from the police, no reports of incidents at my house, nothing. The next morning, Detective Morrison called. We found her. Where? At a motel outside town. She's fine, but she's been arrested. For what? Filing false police reports, harassment, fraud, and attempted extortion. Extortion? She tried to blackmail Marcus Vale. She threatened to tell his wife about their affair unless he paid her $50,000. But his wife already knows about the affair. Erin didn't know that. She thought she still had leverage over him. What happens now? She'll be arraigned this afternoon. She'll probably be released on bail, but there will be conditions. No contact with you, Marcus, or any of the witnesses in the case. Is it over? The criminal case was just beginning, but at least the harassment was over. Erin had been charged, and her lawyer would tell her to stay quiet. That afternoon, I met with my divorce attorney to wrap things up. Ironically, everything Erin had done in the last few weeks had made the divorce simple. She's not getting alimony, my lawyer said. She's not getting half. She's lucky if she doesn't end up owing you money. I don't want her money, I said. I just want it over. She does too. Her lawyer called. She wants to settle fast and quietly. One catch, she's claiming she had a mental breakdown, that she wasn't responsible for her actions. Do you believe that? I think she's manipulative and got caught. The court might shave down her sentence, but it won't change the divorce. The affair and fraud are still facts. 3 weeks later, I was in my house boxing up the last of Erin's things. She'd agreed to give me the house and most assets so I wouldn't pursue further fraud charges. Lisa came to help. "How do you feel?" she asked. "Relieved, exhausted, but relieved." "Any regrets?" "About divorcing her? No. I only wish she'd been honest instead of having an affair." "Think you could have worked it out?" "Maybe, but we'll never know." She told me Marcus and Julia were divorcing too, but civilly, without lies or drama. Erin, meanwhile, was living with her sister in Buffalo, on probation and community service for the false reports, paying restitution to TechFlow. "Think she learned anything?" Lisa asked. "She learned that actions have consequences. Beyond that, I don't know." We worked in silence for a while. Wedding photos, souvenirs, gifts. It all felt like relics from a life that no longer belonged to me. "Why did you really help me?" I asked finally. "Because I realized she was never really my friend," Lisa said. "She used me. For years, probably. I just didn't want to see it. When she asked me to lie for her, she didn't ask. She expected. And when I hesitated, she went straight to threats. A real friend doesn't do that. I apologized for being dragged into it. She said she was glad it opened her eyes. Then I found the letter. My name on the envelope, her neat handwriting. "Should I read it?" I asked. "That's up to you," Lisa said. "Just remember, she's had weeks to craft a story. Don't let her get one last hook in you." I read it anyway. Erin wrote about loneliness, feeling invisible, claiming our marriage had been dying for years. She said the affair started as emotional support, then harmless flirtation, then a mistake that grew. She insisted she never meant to hurt me, that secrecy was protecting me. She admitted lying, manipulating, trying to turn me into the villain so she could live with herself. And then she asked me not to let the last months erase 15 happy years. Lisa read it and snorted softly. "It's skillful," she said. "Just enough apology to look sincere, but mostly explanation and justification. She's still trying to control how you remember her. But some of it's true. We were happy." "You were happy because you didn't know who she was," Lisa said. "The same woman who wrote this letter also tried to ruin you, threatened my family, and stole from you. Pretty words don't change that." She was right. I tore the letter up and threw it away. 6 months later, I ran into Marcus at a coffee shop. He looked better, lighter, like someone who'd finally put down a weight he'd carried too long. "How are you?" he asked. "I'm good. You?" "Better. Divorce is final. Julia and we're actually friends. More than I deserve." He thanked me. "For what?" "For not destroying me when you could have," he said. "You could have made it a lot worse." "I didn't want to destroy you. I just wanted the truth out. It worked, and I learned a lot." He talked about realizing he wasn't as smart as he thought, that he'd been easy to manipulate, that he'd wanted to believe the worst about me because it excused what he was doing. "We all believed her lies," I said. "Yeah," he said. "But I wanted to believe them." I asked if he'd heard from Erin. "No, and I don't want to. That whole thing was toxic." "Any regrets?" I asked. "Just one," he said. "That it took losing everything for me to really see what I had with Julia. We're not getting back together, but we're both better for facing the truth." He asked if I had regrets. "I regret not seeing Erin sooner for who she was," I said. "I regret letting the marriage drift until she felt justified in cheating, but I don't regret how I handled things once I knew." "You handled it better than most." I had good advisors, I said. Now I live alone, but I'm not lonely. I'm dating a teacher named Sandra, honest, direct, the opposite of hidden agendas. I sold the old house, bought a smaller one downtown, and got a promotion at work. Most importantly, I trust myself again. I've learned that love without honesty isn't really love. Some people will look you in the eye and lie without flinching. The only real defense is watching what they do, not what they say. My phone buzzed. A text from Sandra. Still on for dinner tonight? I wrote back, absolutely, can't wait. As I walked out of the coffee shop, I realized something simple and surprising. For the first time in years, I wasn't fighting to keep something from falling apart. I was just living. Erin had tried to destroy me to save herself. Instead, she set me free.